In today's episode of Crypto Over Coffee, the coolest and most caffeinated crypto show on the internet, I'm sharing with you some of the top altcoins that I'm accumulating during this crypto bear market, all of which are under 10 bucks. Of course, we also have our usual 404 Logic Not Found segment as well, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video for that segment. And if you like crypto, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification button if you're on the YouTube side of things, or you can follow the podcast on your platform of choice so you can get a heads up whenever I post new episodes of the Crypto Over Coffee show here on the channel. And by the way, make sure to watch out for scammers that are all over social media. They're impersonating me, trying to take money or personal info from you, especially in the YouTube comments and in DMs on Instagram and Twitter. So please be careful out there. Now, if you're anything like me, you've been carefully navigating the tumultuous bear market that we are in. You've been planning your moves really carefully so that when the prices are right and you're following an investment thesis, you can make your moves. And we're seeing altcoins down 80, 90, even upper 90% down from their all-time highs as they were during the bull market last year in 2021. For altcoins that I have long-term conviction in, this is my signal to accumulate. And I'm going to share with you a list of some of those altcoins that I'm accumulating. However, I want to be very clear that this is not a call to action for you to buy these cryptocurrencies because there is serious risk involved here. I am content knowing that every single dollar that I plow into these could be gone, and losing on these plays, if I lost on every single one, would not affect my standard of living or put me in undue financial risk. So you should make your own calculations on that aspect because everyone is different. That being said, interoperability is a centerpiece of my investment thesis for the next crypto bull run. And we've had the age of bridges and bridge hacks, and those will continue, but true interoperability will eventually usurp this trend. That being said, let's jump into the list, and thank you to Onyx Coffee for the coffee. So one of the main cryptocurrencies that I'm accumulating in this period is Polkadot, and the DOT cryptocurrency, which at the time of recording is right around $7. Now, Polkadot certainly did well towards the tail end of the bull run on the back of the realization of long-term goals like the parachain auctions and much of the long-awaited features hitting mainnet. Polkadot's lofty vision is an interconnected, interoperable network of heterogeneous blockchain networks that can transact between one another securely via a relay chain, the core connective tissue between these many blockchains. At the center of all these mechanisms, from leasing a parachain slot in the network to transacting across chains, etc., is this DOT cryptocurrency, which makes this an appealing cryptocurrency to accumulate through dollar cost averaging and staking. Staking is a big one here. In the coming months, I want to see the Polkadot team continue to create quality user experience around abstractions of some of the functionality like staking. They have the staking dashboard that they recently launched. So we want more of those types of things to make it easier to use Polkadot, which is very complex. And this is going to be critical to a success in the next bull market. By the way, let me know in the comments what your favorite bear market buys are and how you're practicing good risk management along the way. I'm really curious to hear your strategy. Now, next on the list is another interoperability play, but one that's more focused on the DeFi side of the house, and that is Thorchain. Thorchain itself is a cross-chain settlement network that enables users to swap or exchange assets and earn yield between different blockchain networks like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cosmos, Binance, and more in a completely non-custodial manner. Thorchain is also the greatest comeback story in crypto for this past bull run, suffering several notable exploits and then going back to the drawing board, fixing things and coming back with a vengeance. So I really respect that about this team. And what's significant is that Thorchain is an example of what I believe DeFi will become in the future, a protocol not tied to one blockchain, but one that connects several together. And at $2 per rune, the native cryptocurrency of Thorchain, I like the chances at profit if the markets turn around and this were to get some adoption. Throughout the bear market, I hope that Thorchain continues to add new blockchains in support and gets that Cosmos connectivity up and running nice and smoothly again, which, speaking of Cosmos, leads me to the third cryptocurrency on my list. The Cosmos ecosystem was one of the sleeper picks of the 2021 bull run, and standout projects like Osmosis, and if we're being honest, talking about profits only, the pre-implosion Terra drew tons of attention and investment into Cosmos. However, I believe that this barely scratched the surface of what potential Cosmos has as a protocol and an ecosystem. Different from the Polkadot model of interoperability, Cosmos is designed in a hub and zone model, derived from the hub and spoke model, where different blockchain zones communicate with each other via hubs that serve as connection points between them. Cosmos saw an explosion of both developer activity on the network and protocol itself and on those blockchain zones throughout 2021, and I'm willing to bet that this continues here in the coming months and years. If Cosmos can continue to improve the experience building with its Cosmos SDK tools and solidify some of the proposed changes to the Cosmos Hub and the ALTCOINS tokenomics, it could be set for a pretty solid return to form in a bull market. And it's held up against its all-time high pretty well, which was around $44 in this bear market, sitting at $9 at the time of recording. So we shall see how this pans out. Next up is a departure from the interoperability conversation and into arguably the most contentious possible place that I will be, or most contentious cryptocurrency that I'll mention today, and that is Cardano ADA. Yes, please leave your vitriolic comments below if you must. Whether you like Cardano or not, the cyclical nature of crypto and the fervent community around Cardano makes it a no-brainer for those looking for profits in a resurgent bull market. However, my personal interest lies deeper than just profit. I believe genuinely that the technology, the extended unspent transaction output or EUTXO core of Cardano will make it a far different and powerful tool for a variety of protocols from DeFi to NFTs to blends of both. Batching is a powerful thing. This is further supported by the fact that Cardano allows for native creation of assets at the base layer rather than fumbling with smart contracts to manage tokens. Cardano has had its growing pains and its false starts, but with developing best practices for builders plus native layer 2s, the upcoming Vassal hard fork and other scaling solutions nearing completion, it's hard to imagine that Cardano doesn't revisit its previous all-time highs or surpass them handily when things do turn around in the crypto markets, which I believe that they will. And this is another potentially contentious one because people have varying opinions of it, but Polygon and its Matic cryptocurrency could very well continue its solid performance that it had in the 2021 bull market after a crypto winter of building. Polygon saw fairly significant growth from the overflow of Ethereum NFT and DeFi projects seeking a compatible but less gas fee intensive network to deploy on. And Polygon has its issues, but it really did get some adoption from this. Two things lead me to believe that Polygon has a real shot at being successful in a renewed bull market, as its focus on carbon neutrality and its large accumulation of zero knowledge or ZK tech. Many scoff at the idea of a sustainable blockchain, but I'll tell you, the biggest corporations and spenders in the world care about it, and that's why it matters. Secondly, zero knowledge technology is regarded as the future of the entire crypto space, and Polygon has a pretty solid portfolio of technologies through acquisition that it can harness and deploy to be a leader in this area. It's going to take work, but if Polygon can launch and garner adoption for significant technological advancements in the ZK space, it can position itself very well for years to come as a side network, a side chain for Ethereum and others. Now, I don't have time to talk about all of these in more depth, but I want to talk a little bit about utilities, right? I'm a tech-focused guy, and therefore I'm pretty fond of utilities that help builders build better apps in the space. So projects like The Graph or Covalent for indexing and accessing blockchain data, Gelato and EPNS for automation and notification services for decentralized applications in a decentralized environment, and things like that. These projects I'm always looking for a buy-in opportunity on because I believe they're critical tools to help builders build. And finally, despite my philosophical differences, I'm also accumulating other layer 1 blockchains like Avalanche and Solana via staking mostly, because if they come back anywhere near close to their previous all-time highs, that's significant profit for these two coins, and they have a great community behind them and plenty of funding behind them. Whether you like it or not, these are interesting coins nonetheless, so it might be something you're into. Neither of these are $10, so I didn't add them to the list, but I figured it was worth mentioning since I know I will get questions about them. Hey, why are they not in the list? All right, so I'll have to do a part 2 of this list to share more specific coins in specific niches like blockchain gaming, DeFi, etc., and some of the specific coins in the ecosystems like Polygon, Polkadot, Cosmos, etc. But again, let me know in the comments what your favorite bear market buys are right now and how you're practicing good risk management in this insane bear market environment. Now, my friends, it is time for 404 Logic Not Found, which is a firecracker of a segment on the show where I break down the logical conundrums of the crypto space that need to get some attention. Which, speaking of attention, if you want to help this show get some attention, which really helps, it's hard to get views in a bear market without putting down hype, and I'm not a hypey guy. Please share this video with your friends, get subscribed, give it a like, follow the podcast, whatever you can do really does help the show get out there more. And today's illogical sandwich special is the common adage, HODL, which has turned into a blanket piece of not financial advice for crypto personalities, influencers, and investors alike. Way back in the day, the term HODL came into the crypto zeitgeist from a typo in an online post in the crypto community, commonly used to signify a call to hold cryptocurrency through turbulence or hold on for dear life. What was once an innocuous meme has quickly become a dangerous, overgeneralized investing strategy for a whole generation of investors in the crypto space, thinking simply buying and holding their cryptocurrency forever will render them riches and profits if they hold on long enough. I mean, you see this everywhere. I even have a t-shirt that says it, for God's sake, so I'm guilty too. But what this has devolved into is a genuine problem for many investors. You have countless people who have bought at or near the top of crypto in 2021 and have simply held and held and held all the way down 80-90% from that all-time high to this point now where they aren't holding because of a strategy. They simply have no other choice but to hold and pray that things recover. And that's not a strategy, that's delusion. Now, every person holds personal responsibility for their investment choices, good or bad. That's no secret. But there is something to be said for the community, in particular the influencers, for pushing this narrative to people who do not know better. Sure, if you look at history, you'll see that holding Bitcoin or Ether or a few others for a long enough time renders profits over time, especially if you hold through a bear market and compound your position. However, that strategy doesn't work so well when the cryptocurrency you're holding isn't a liquid altcoin with no prayer of recovery and no active team left to resurrect it. There are thousands of those that are not victimless investments, and the HODL meme is partly responsible for this idea that it's even remotely qualified as a strategy to simply buy and hold something long enough, and then you'll profit, invariably. You have to take profits when you have profits, not to wait for more and get greedy or watch the whole thing burn down in front of you while you embody that "this is fine" meme. There's lots of memes in crypto. That's a 404 Logic Not Found of epic personal consequence. And I'm sure the Bitcoin maximalists and the Ethereum maximalists will respond predictably, "Oh, well, you shouldn't invest in trash altcoins, just invest in our myopic single coin person." But that's just another illogical situation for another show. The bottom line is, HODLing is not an investment strategy. It's a meme. Memes are not good investment practice. You will lose money far more often than you earn money following memes as investment theses. So please do not do this. I have tons of videos on my channel about my own investment methodologies and best practices, and I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time, but I do think I have a pretty good idea of things that work and things that definitely don't work. So make sure you're subscribed and check out my catalog of videos. If you have some time to stick around, maybe you'll get some ideas that you like or learn from my mistakes. So I hope you and your family have a wonderful weekend and week ahead. And until next time, cheers.